So what I told her about psychology is that some psychologists have described that there are fears and desires in which we have to inoculate ourselves from. And I said it's like taking an immunization shot. We are bombarded at all times with the chaos of fears and desires. And I described to her how religions are certain inoculations to certain fears and certain desires. And if we let a fear of death take us over, or a desire of our living passions take us over, we can enter into a chaotic state and not get done what needs to get done. So we have to inoculate ourselves from these fears and desires. And religions are often well-developed schools of psychological inoculations for very specific fears and very specific desires and how to deal with them. Or let us say general fears, general desires, but specific ways of dealing with them. So each religion has its own specific ways of dealing with them, explaining them, and inoculating the individual, immunizing the individual from these fears and desires taking them over, so that they can live their life. At that point, I was interrupted by my parent, by my other parent, my dad. He didn't interrupt me. He just came into the room, and I have these ideas and I share them, and they're well developed, and it's like a cool story to listen to. And I'm not just saying that. Not everybody wants to listen to me all the time. I get that. I don't think that it's just creative. It's entertaining. Well, at the same time, I understand at deeper levels it is addressing issues that are present. But I don't say, you've got this issue, this is the way you've got to deal with it. No, I'm very much into the flow of the conversation. So sit down, start talking. So, okay, what's, well, this is what I'm going through. And, sometimes I need to start the conversation, get the conversation going, and it's not like I have to have it go where I want it to go, and I can end it at any moment. Somebody could walk in, we can change the subject, and it's just the way my life is. It's just the way my family is, and I don't need to force anything down anybody's throat. I like to share these things because I feel they're an important part of my life right now. And I have fun with it. It's fun for me. But this is a crucial idea. In this inoculation process, what I was describing to her was that what ends up happening is that we have this, as we went outside after a few minutes, I was talking about this knowledge base. Our knowledge base becomes like a sphere or a cavern around us. And this knowledge base is what protects us from our fears and our desires taking us over. And I then further explained that this knowledge base that we have can also become like a gilded cage that we are trapped within, where we trap ourselves. And the way this came up was that my dad was talking about something, and I told him how when I was younger I very much wanted to learn things on my own for myself, so I was not as interested in what others, my elders, my superiors, my teachers told me. so much as I wanted to find out for myself. So this is the shop mentality. In school, you have these shops. Usually guys go to them, you know, like woodworking shop, electrical shop, engineering shop, you know, those kinds of things. Small engine repair kind of thing. And by getting into it and doing it ourselves, we learn for ourselves. And we're not necessarily told all the answers, and the teacher understands this. You don't just tell the child this is what you've got to regurgitate. I'm regurgitating it out of me. You've got to regurgitate it back out of yourself. You know, no, it's do it, and then you'll know it. And I said, now that I'm older, I realize, you know, it's much easier for me to learn from others. I'm in that phase. Oh, what he was talking about was that you know, 70 is an incredible age. It's just not what I expected, and you know, which is great, because that means the message from the previous conversation I've been having with him have sunk in, because I've been pairing him for his old age, because, you know, the past few years he's been coming on to me with this. He doesn't say it outright, but he comes on to me with this idea that I'm getting old, I'm in the end of my days, and we've got to do some shit together, because time is getting short. And I basically let him know, listen, if we're going to be doing stuff together, you got to relax, buddy. You got to really relax, because I've died so many times. The last thing I want to watch is somebody in their death throes trying to regurgitate and take care of all the loose ends they never took care of, you know. Relax, you're fine. Rock on with your bad self. And who knows, you could still outlive me. You know, nobody really knows. And I don't talk to him in that he wouldn't allow me to speak to him in that way, you know. Not that he can't handle it, it's just that that's not the way it's done for him. And so I have been able to have some of these deeper philosophical conversations about concepts and ideas I've been dealing with, so that ultimately he is at peace with where he's at. So it was very nice to hear him say that 70 is a great time.